In the vast, echoing hall of the Galactic Council, a diverse gathering of alien species convenes, each member adorned in their unique cultural symbols, representing countless worlds across the galaxy. A solemn energy fills the air as representatives debate a single topic: humanity. Humans must be left alone, an elder alien insists, its many eyes blinking slowly, carrying the weight of ages. They are unpredictable, unbound by the usual patterns. They've endured countless trials and have a peculiar talent for adaptation and survival. For now, neutrality is wise. Others nod, recalling the species' tenacity. They discuss how humanity has transformed challenges into victories, defying the odds. Wars, natural disasters, and self-imposed limitations, humans face them all and emerge not only unbroken but often stronger. In human history, every encounter with what seemed insurmountable has sparked innovation and unity rather than submission. Yet, a figure rises, shrouded in regal armor, adorned with markings of ancient conquest and domination, the alien king. He scoffs, his voice reverberating through the chamber with an arrogance that fills every corner. These humans? You speak as if they're worthy of concern. They're nothing but an upstart species, a mere curiosity, primitive and short-lived. Their chaos is proof of inferiority, not strength. There's a ripple of discomfort, but no one openly challenges the king's judgment. The king's faction has long been a dominating force, feared for its ruthlessness. His eyes narrow, piercing through the assembly. I will not let our galaxy be influenced by such beings. They will bow, or they will be eliminated. The council murmurs, aware of the king's power and his history of subjugating lesser civilizations. His dismissive words ignore the caution woven into every warning given by the elder alien. This will be swift. The king sneers, brushing off any doubts. After a silent nod from the assembly, the matter is settled. The elder alien gives one final, quiet look, a gaze that speaks of foreseen regret, before the council adjourns. Without delay, the alien king's fleet assembles, a colossal armada with ships glinting like polished steel against the star-filled backdrop. His empire's best technology, weapons forged from elements unknown to humans, stands poised at the edge of Earth's atmosphere, casting ominous shadows upon the planet below. Messages are sent to Earth's leaders, each word dripping with contempt. The message is clear. Surrender now, or face annihilation. The alien king assumes the humans will fall to their knees, begging for mercy or attempting pitiful resistance. He views humanity's mix of languages and symbols as a chaotic mess, interpreting Earth's diversity as a lack of unity, a weakness easily exploited. But humanity does not respond as expected. World leaders convene, united by the shared threat. Humanity's response is not immediate surrender or division, but a determined defiance that takes the king by surprise. Messages flood back up to the fleet, all echoing a simple sentiment: Earth will not kneel. Confounded, the king sneers, mocking their efforts to resist. These primitives think they can defy me? He sneers to his generals, who share his laughter. The king views Earth's scattered military efforts as laughable, each attempt a mere drop of water against the firepower of his fleet. Yet, as his forces begin deploying probes and establishing a perimeter, they face something unexpected: resistance that's fierce, unpredictable, and cunning. Initially, his forces underestimate the human response. Small acts of sabotage, cyber disruptions, and organized attacks surprise the aliens, who struggle to respond to the guerrilla tactics. They realize that humans, though technologically behind, exploit every weakness they can find, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The fleet's over-reliance on centralized control becomes a vulnerability humans detect, target, and exploit ruthlessly. As Earth's defenses adapt, human scientists begin to analyze and reverse-engineer alien tech, discovering weaknesses that the king would never consider important. They're quick to share findings across every defense unit, turning each encounter into a learning experience. Earth's engineers modify outdated satellites and redirect signals to disrupt the king's communications, effectively coordinating between continents despite limited technology. The king grows increasingly frustrated. His officers report setbacks, sabotage to essential equipment, communication interference, and ambushes that disrupt supply lines. He can hardly believe it. How could such a primitive race counteract his might? Anger gives way to paranoia, and he becomes increasingly obsessed with proving his superiority. As losses mount, humanity's resilience intensifies. Different countries coordinate strategies in real time, pooling resources, sharing intelligence, and even organizing civilians for support roles. The determination of every human involved creates a ripple of defiance that even the king's most advanced technology cannot suppress. Earth's ingenuity shines as they repurpose everyday tech into formidable weapons and organize elaborate countermeasures that alien intelligence cannot predict. Frustrated, the alien king directs his forces to escalate, thinking that a show of sheer force will break human spirits. But humanity digs in, growing stronger in their resistance. The king's tactics only galvanize Earth's inhabitants further. People of all walks of life, scientists, engineers, farmers, and factory workers, contribute in ways the king could never have anticipated, pooling skills in what becomes a truly global fight for survival. At a critical moment, the king launches a direct assault on key Earth locations, aiming to finally crush resistance. His forces penetrate deeper than ever before, their assault tearing into humanity's defenses. It seems humanity might finally break. But in the final hour, Earth's leaders send a message, bold, clear, and unyielding. They rally, urging every last human to fight, to endure. They understand this is not merely a defense but an assertion of their right to exist unbound. The king's forces falter. Each strike they deliver is met with a countermeasure, each attempted landing zone is sabotaged, and every advance meets human resilience. From cyber warfare to makeshift artillery, humanity fights back with a relentless will, even employing psychological tactics to disorient and outsmart alien soldiers. In the midst of the chaos, humans successfully disable a central alien communication tower, sending the king's forces into disarray. The king watches, horrified, as his army, an empire once believed to be indomitable, begins to falter. A final surge of human resistance overwhelms his defenses, and his forces begin to retreat. When word reaches the Galactic Council, a stunned silence falls. Reports detailing the king's crushing defeat pour in, describing in meticulous detail how humanity fought not only with courage but with ingenuity that no one had anticipated. The alien elder, once ignored, speaks again with the quiet authority of one proven correct. Humans may be unpredictable, but that does not mean they are weak. We witnessed not merely defiance but the strength of a species that can unite against unimaginable odds. We should have heeded the warning. Perhaps, instead of domination, they would make far better allies. The council members exchange glances, now seeing humanity not as a potential threat but as a force to be respected, perhaps even a necessary ally. They resolve to leave Earth in peace, a decision made out of respect, and perhaps a hint of fear. Earth, battered but victorious, chooses not to pursue vengeance but remains wary of future incursions. They send a message to the Galactic Council, diplomatically asserting their desire for peace but making it clear they will not hesitate to defend themselves again. As the last council member leaves, a quiet, knowing voice murmurs in the now empty hall. Perhaps we underestimated them, but never again. The council, now forever altered by humanity's stand, recognizes that the galaxy holds a force they never anticipated, a small, resilient species from a blue planet called Earth, whose will to survive might just be the galaxy's strongest power. The alien king's fleet, a vast armada of dark, gleaming ships, looms ominously in Earth's orbit. His arrival radiates menace, casting a shadow over humanity's blue and green planet. The fleet's formation alone signals to Earth a level of technological advancement that humans have only dreamed of, and the king fully expects Earth's leaders to recognize this and submit without question. His first communication to Earth is laced with arrogance, barely concealing his contempt for what he perceives as a primitive species. You are offered a choice, kneel or face annihilation. The message booms. His words carry no empathy, only the assumption that Earth's leaders will immediately comply or suffer. To him, humanity is but an insect underfoot, too insignificant to warrant anything but force. To the king's surprise, Earth's response isn't the surrender he anticipated. Rather than grovel, Earth's leaders issue a single unified statement: they will not submit. The alien king scoffs, viewing this as nothing more than a laughable display of bravado. He assumes that, with a show of power, their courage will crumble. He orders his ships into formation, preparing for what he imagines will be a swift and one-sided conflict. Confident, the alien king makes the first move, attempting to broadcast his demands globally. But the response from humanity is swift and organized, countering his signal with electronic interference and cybersecurity measures that delay his message's spread. Humans intercept, scramble, and disrupt his attempts to impose his narrative on them, utilizing every tool available to prevent his voice from taking root. Frustrated, the king realizes this primitive species is not as disorganized as he thought. Each attempted invasion step seems to spark unexpected resistance. His troops meet with unforeseen challenges as they attempt to impose control in strategic areas. Human forces adapt quickly, mobilizing in ways that are both chaotic and unified, a maddening contradiction that catches the king off guard. It's unlike any response he has faced. Where other species falter in disarray, humanity thrives, finding strength in diversity and unpredictable tactics. He watches, incredulous, as human tactics begin to exploit his fleet's weaknesses. Earth's leaders rally not just soldiers but citizens, who contribute to a unified resistance. Guerrilla tactics become common, with citizens engaging in disruptive strategies that leave alien forces perplexed. Small groups disrupt key supply chains, while cyber attacks flood alien systems with misinformation, rerouting data and creating strategic blind spots in their communication lines. The alien king, who once viewed Earth's languages and symbols as weaknesses, now finds himself confounded by the very diversity he mocked. Humanity's adaptability makes his centralized, orderly systems vulnerable. Different regions of Earth employ varied strategies, each exploiting different aspects of alien weaknesses, creating a chaotic but effective defensive web that alien intelligence struggles to penetrate. The more the king attempts to reassert control, the more disjointed his own forces become. Desperate to regain the upper hand, he orders his generals to adapt, to use brute force in an effort to overwhelm these primitive tactics. But humanity has an answer for each escalation. They have analyzed every move, learning and adapting at a speed that defies the king's assumptions. Engineers repurpose alien tech and use captured equipment in unexpected ways. Improvised weapons and modified vehicles enhance their capabilities, a testament to human ingenuity under pressure. The king's frustration grows. His empire, renowned for its strength and feared across the galaxy, finds itself unexpectedly challenged by a species that should, by all logic, be inferior. He cannot comprehend how his carefully honed strategies are failing against a people he deemed incapable of resistance. His anger blinds him to the reality that he is not just facing a single nation but a united world, each part contributing a unique strength to the whole. As the conflict intensifies, reports filter in from his forces. Tactical units report ambushes in regions they assumed secure, communication blackouts in critical zones, and a level of human coordination that should be impossible given their technology. It becomes clear that his grand show of force is becoming less effective by the day. Humanity has grown bolder, not weaker, with each wave of his aggression, exploiting his missteps with every advancement. The alien king's earlier confidence begins to wane. His fleet, which once seemed an unstoppable force, now faces a kind of warfare that cannot be controlled from a throne or strategized from a distance. Human adaptability has turned every assumption, every prejudice he held, into a weakness of his own making. The alien king's forces press harder, doubling down on efforts to overwhelm humanity. His ships descend in tight formations, targeting key locations to establish control points, believing that a more forceful approach will break Earth's defenses. But humanity has adapted yet again, and the king's forces face an even fiercer resistance. The humans are no longer just reacting, they're anticipating. Across Earth, leaders and civilians alike have coalesced into a global resistance. Each sector draws upon its own strengths, innovating on the fly and sharing tactics across continents. Engineers and scientists work around the clock, not only analyzing alien technology but actively dismantling and repurposing it. They deploy hacked devices, drones, and modified satellites to disrupt the alien fleet's communications, creating a network of blind spots that confuse the enemy's movements and prevent coordination. What the king expected to be a straightforward occupation now feels like an unending game of whack-a-mole. His troops find themselves entangled in urban combat, ambushed by small but organized human cells. Some humans strike from hidden bunkers, others from the shadows of cities, while remote regions stage guerrilla attacks that delay and weaken the king's supply chains. What his forces once dismissed as primitive methods now stall even his most elite units. They have become trapped in a quagmire, each encounter more frustrating than the last. The turning point comes as Earth scientists decode a critical aspect of alien shielding technology. Within hours, this breakthrough is communicated across defense units worldwide. Quickly, human forces retrofit their weapons to bypass shields, leveling the playing field. The king is stunned as his invulnerable soldiers, once shielded from harm, fall in battle to what should have been primitive projectiles. To him, it's impossible that humans could have adapted this quickly. Yet the results are undeniable. Panic starts to spread among the ranks of the alien forces as humanity's new tactics prove effective. Soldiers, who had once marched confidently through Earth's streets, find themselves besieged by a relentless force of civilians, soldiers, and militia groups working in perfect unison. For the first time, fear grips the alien troops. Reports flood back to the fleet of sabotaged equipment, ambushed supply convoys, and disrupted lines of retreat. The king's forces are overstretched, unable to respond effectively as humanity capitalizes on each success with devastating precision. But humanity's strength doesn't only lie in brute force, it lies in their unbreakable spirit and refusal to submit. Citizens volunteer en masse, providing logistical support, organizing evacuation routes, and setting up hidden command centers. People from all walks of life contribute to the resistance in ways the alien king cannot fathom. Artists create morale-boosting propaganda, hackers breach alien databases, and field medics treat the injured under heavy fire. This unity defies his understanding, revealing a strength that no alien mind could have predicted. The alien king, watching from his flagship, grows increasingly desperate. He orders his generals to focus on demoralizing humanity, to hit symbolic locations, and take down any point of resistance with brutal efficiency. But the effect is the opposite. His attacks fuel human anger, igniting a fury that unites them further. Instead of instilling fear, each new assault strengthens Earth's resolve, as humanity rallies around its battered heroes and fallen defenders, refusing to let their sacrifices be in vain. As a last-ditch effort, the king initiates a concentrated strike on Earth's communication centers, believing that cutting their lines of organization will cripple their resistance. Yet humans, resourceful as ever, revert to analog systems, using old-school radio waves and encrypted shortwave transmissions to keep the lines open. Each attempt to sever their connections is met with swift improvisation, ensuring that humanity's coordination remains intact. What began as an invasion has turned into a costly war of attrition. The king's forces are spread thin, their morale shattered as they face a species that defies every expectation. His empire's doctrine of superiority is crumbling, and the king finally begins to understand what the council had warned him about. This is no ordinary species. For the first time in his rule, he feels something unfamiliar, a hint of respect mixed with dread, as he realizes he has underestimated humanity in the gravest way possible. The alien king's forces are in disarray. His armada, once an indomitable presence in Earth's skies, is fragmented and scattered, barely holding formation. Each failed attempt to crush humanity has left his ranks weakened and demoralized, and word of these failures has reached even the furthest corners of the galaxy. Humanity's resolve has not only stymied his plans but also shifted the balance of power. The king, once so certain of victory, finds himself outmatched by an enemy he deemed insignificant. The council receives transmission after transmission detailing the king's mounting losses and the unyielding human resistance. As council members review the reports, a sense of awe and trepidation fills the chamber. Their decision to let the alien king act unchecked now seems like a profound mistake. The elder alien, who had initially warned them, speaks softly but with unmistakable authority, stating that humanity has proven itself in ways that none of them foresaw. Meanwhile, on Earth, the tide of the conflict has shifted. Humanity, now fully mobilized and equipped with alien technology adapted to their needs, has gained the upper hand. Earth's leaders send a final message to the alien forces, offering them the chance to retreat or face a complete rout. It is a stunning reversal. The king, who expected Earth's subjugation, now receives a demand for surrender. The alien king's rage is palpable, yet he knows his situation is dire. Every tactic he tries is met with human ingenuity that confounds his most seasoned strategists. His fleet is in tatters, his resources nearly exhausted. Reluctantly, he orders a retreat, his pride shattered. The image of his flagship fleeing Earth is broadcast worldwide, a triumphant symbol for humanity and a stark reminder to the galaxy of Earth's strength. As the king's fleet withdraws, Earth erupts in celebration, but there's no sense of complacency. Humanity knows they have stepped onto the galactic stage, and this victory, while hard-won, is only the beginning. Earth's leaders decide to remain vigilant, preparing for any future threats but also reaching out to the Galactic Council with a message: humanity seeks peace but will defend itself if provoked again. In the Galactic Council, the members contemplate the significance of what has transpired. Humanity has demonstrated resilience, creativity, and unity under pressure that few other species possess. What was once seen as a potential weakness, their chaotic nature, their emotional tenacity, has become a symbol of formidable strength. The council members, humbled by Earth's stand, acknowledge that humans are not to be dismissed or underestimated. In the silence that follows, the elder alien speaks once more, this time with the weight of hard-earned wisdom. Humanity, he says, may be the most significant force the galaxy has yet encountered. They are not only capable of resisting oppression but have shown that they thrive in the face of impossible odds. The elder suggests that, rather than treating them as a threat, the council consider them as potential allies, a proposal that begins to reshape the council's vision for the future. As the session closes, there is a lingering sense of respect, and perhaps a hint of caution, in the minds of every council member. They have glimpsed the indomitable spirit of humanity, a species that defies limits, and they know now that this force cannot be controlled, only respected. Earth, now scarred yet proud, stands as a beacon, proving that resilience and unity can overcome even the mightiest empires. The galaxy has changed, and the council members realize that their fates may very well be tied to the survival of this small, fierce world called Earth.